Good afternoon. This is a head, heart, and hand. Why do I do this with my hand every single time? I don't know what to do with them. Anyways, it is 4:20 in the Pacific Northwest, and today is Tuesday something or other, the 28th. Oh my gosh, the year is flying by. So I've got some mail, some interesting things, and some stitching. So let's do that first. So, because it's in my lap. I was in the middle of stitching, and my shoulder said, I've got repetitive strain injuries, I've got carpal tunnel, ulnar tunnel, and thoracic outlet. And this shoulder's like, hey, do you mind taking a break? I'm like, fine. So I'm working on this French alphabet sampler. As you know, this thing is huge. It's like, the fabric is 42 inches square. So this is only page 1 and 2. I've only finished page 1. I'm about halfway done with page 2. And then there's going to be page 3 and page 4. This thing's enormous. So last time I hadn't finished the E, so I got the E finished. I got these here, and I got these Roman numerals here. So I've actually done quite a bit in this last week. This is the last week of the month, so the project, this is my project for the rotation this month. And it will be the rotation, I will keep this, because the way I figured it out, the last project of the month, because I switch projects weekly, has a really short amount of time, so I make it so that the last project of the month is the first of the following month. So I get to work on this for 2 weeks. My goal is to get through page 4 by the end of the year. I don't think it's happening. But so right now I've kind of changed it. Can I get to the end of this page? So that's really what I'm pushing for, is to get through this page. I have a whole bunch more to do. This is... there's 2 more letters from this that go right here. Once I've done those, then I've done about 2/3 of the page. So it's not too bad. I've got a lot. I've been trying out a new hoop. I don't know if you've seen these on Amazon. Not Amazon. Etsy. Hold on. I got to check the name again. I got it, but of course I've forgotten it already. Okay, so this is from Jessica Rose Stitchery on Etsy. It's a 5-inch hoop. Yeah, 5 inches. I don't like big hoops. They're really hard on my hands with repetitive strain injuries. I have to be very careful. Normally I stitch in hand, but for this one, because it's so big, I decided I wanted to try using a hoop. I've got this one. It's the first time I've tried them. They're really cool. They're dyed. See how the different colors between the inner and the outer? This one's supposed to be purple. The light kind of sucks. Sun setting. So you can't see it. It looks a little brown, but if you get it in certain lights, it looks purple. Her green ones and purple ones, or green and blues, look stunning. I haven't ordered one yet. I may, just because. Why not? And they're not overly expensive, I think. These are definitely higher quality than the stuff that you get at your local Michael's or that other place that I won't mention. There's no splits. Everything has been smoothed out. And I like the thinness of the wood itself. So this one is really nice on my hands. And just for funsies, I watched a video about the different types of antique hoops and discovered that I had inherited a bunch of duchesses, and this is a princess. So it's got this really cool hinge. You're like, what in the world? What it does is it spreads it open. You can kind of see it. So when you're putting it on your fabric, you can spread it open a little bit. It slides in a little bit easier, and then it closes. This is a big improvement over the other ones. Hang on, let me grab the other one, which for some reason I don't have here. It is just a hoop with no hardware. It just slides over. Now, if you like your things drum tight, it's actually really awesome. Me, I don't like things drum tight, especially since I pick it up and move it. I want it on the little loose side. I just want something to hold my fabric. But they're still really cool, especially the ones I inherited because they're from probably my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, and all my great-aunts. So I also got some really cool fabric in the mail. Now, normally I'm not a huge fan of Ada. Not because it's the baby fabric or whatever, it's the beginner fabric. I just don't care for the hand feel. I think it's a little rough, especially since I'm an in-hand knitter. That being said, I'm not averse to it. I just prefer linen, and that's okay. But I saw this dyer and I went, oh, I need some of this. She does anything from 14 to 20 count Ada. And let me get the name. Of course, I don't have it written down. Okay, this company is Easy Stitch for Fun on Etsy. And it was a 6-pack of like 10 by 10 squares. Now, the light here is not cool. It's not great. But I loved it. So this one's got the reds and the purple. It's got oranges and yellow. Whoa! A yellowy green. A blue with green. Blue and then purple. These are just stunning. And I'm like, I've got to try this. And yes, I need all 6 of them. I have enjoyed these so much. I actually ordered some more, different colors. And I bought some for my kid. I have a kid who's a stitcher. Still new, prefers Ada, and that's okay. And it's a blood splatter. So I'm like, I need that because I have some cross stitch for Halloween that could definitely use some blood spatter Ada. There's more stuff I got. So on one of the floss tubes on the Tube of You, somebody mentioned this company called Jackson Fabric Arts. They're still on Etsy. And what I thought was interesting is it's not linen that's been dyed, because look at these. These are just, oh, these are pretty. I like the dappledness. This is how I like to dye stuff for just to wear, much less stitch on. But this is hemp. It's 32 count hemp. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I'd really like to try stitching on that. And it's a good sized chunk. You know, it's your standard fat quarter, or, you know, stitcher's fat. And the colors, I mean, this is beautiful. And I don't know if the camera's good enough to show, but it looks like it's going to be easy. It's kind of has this really interesting texture. Yeah, you can't see it. You can't get close enough. Or I can't get it close enough. It kind of has a texture now that I'm looking at it through the light. There are some clearly defined holes. So it's different texture than linen. But I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to invest a little money to try a whole new product and a whole new things. Like I've been stitching on cotton and linen, using silk for years. Let's try hemp. And as we know, hemp is, or hopefully you know, hemp is a much greener project to grow. It's a grass to use for fiber. And it's doesn't require as much pesticides as cotton does. Cotton is like one of the dirtiest products for how much pesticides get dumped on it to grow it. So moving to hemp is definitely the greener option. I don't know if linen, how much pesticides are used on linen, but this is, oh, look at this. It's beautiful. Again, this is Jackson Fabric Arts on Etsy. I got some other things. Okay, so I have had this pattern in my collections called And They Sinned. I've had it in my collection since at least my youngest was a baby, if not before that. And they're going to be 15 this coming spring. So I've had this pattern. And if you've never seen As They Sinned, this is a huge pattern. Now, it's not very wide. It's a sampler. So it's, you know, the stitching is like this wide, like 7 or 8 inches, I think, by 40. So when you get it framed, this thing is enormous. It's like 4.5 feet long or something like that. It's just insanely long. But that being said, I still think it's gorgeous. After all this time, I'm like, you know what? I'm finally going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do it. Now, the fabric hasn't come in yet. But let me turn this on and see if that helps. Oh, that's awful. Nope. But I got the fibers. They're all done in sampler threads. And this is just stunning. I can't wait to get the fabric. The fabric has to be special ordered because you need an especially large chunk. I'll be doing it. So this is the called for threads. They're all sampler threads except one. There's a single DMC in here because there just is. But all the rest is just, oh, this gorgeousness. And as soon as I get the fabric in, I might start it. I might put it off. But anyways, I'm out of time. So I hope you have a wonderful day and happy making, friends.